bottom for the visiting Boston Celtics, the Boston Starters. The Celtic guard at 6'5" from Connecticut, number 20, Ray Allen. Number 9 at guard from Boston from Kentucky at 6'1", Rajon Rondo. At center from Clifton, J. Ozone High School, number 43, the 6'10", Kendrick Perkins. From Fairgate Academy High School at forward for Boston, number 5, the 6'11", Kevin Garnett. Also at forward for the Celtics from Kansas, number 34, the 6'9", Paul Pierce. And the head coach of the Boston Celtics, Doc Rivers.
We're back.
Meet and greet the ballers who represent the Detroit Pistons. From the gritty city of Compton, out of the University of Kentucky's Big Blue, number 22, call it's time for the Prince, Tayshaun Prince. Born from the hot gyms in Quitman, Mississippi, the one-time Crimson Tide from Alabama. At 6'9", number 24, Antonio Mickety Mac Dois. Number 36, from the Get Down Playgrounds in Philadelphia, the former Tar Heel from North Carolina. His jersey reads, all she, the center, Rasheed Wallace. Up next, the guy from Coatesville, Rip City, Pennsylvania, a one-time UConn Husky. At 6'7", number 32 for you, Piston guard Richard Rip Hamilton. And now, the captain. He wears the Piston 1. Oh, he is that deal from Park Hill in the city of Denver and the University of Colorado. In the home red blue and white tonight, the 6'2", Phillips. And the head coach of your Detroit Pistons, Cliff Saunders. Detroit, it's our gym. We're live from the D.
Well, we get to see a lot of those fancy pregame introductions. That one was entertaining. Very well done. As these Pistons fans, they're used to being here in May for conference finals home games at the Palace. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Game 3 of the Eastern Conference Finals. Along with Mark Jackson and Jeff Van Gundy, Mike Breen on hand. Michelle Tafoya will join us shortly. So you see what the Celtics are up against. I don't know if you guys realize this, but the Celtics haven't won on the road yet in the playoffs.
I hadn't heard.
That, of course, is all they're talking about in Boston. Now they have to win on the road. The ironic thing, Jeff, was that they were a great road team during the regular season. What's changed?
Well, they won 31 road games because they were efficient at both ends. And in the playoffs, it's just been a different story. They've given up nearly 15 more points a game on the road. They've scored almost 10 points less. Look at the field goal defense. It's skyrocketed to 46%. They just haven't played well. They're going to have to be good at both ends here tonight to get a win.
Especially after that loss in Game 2 at home. The Pistons, Mark, they played well. They played like the Pistons. Usual strong defense, but it was the other end of the floor that was most impressive.
Well, talk about efficient. The Pistons had efficient offense. Good job of setting the tone by that big-time backcourt of Chauncey Billups and Rip Hamilton. Really led the attack, and other guys stepped up following their lead. Good job of executing offensively. 103 big points. Field goal percentage almost 50%, and then sharing the basketball, contagious. 21 big assists.
And that's why this series is now tied up 1 game apiece. Right now, let's bring in Michelle Tafoya. Hey, Michelle.
Hey, Michael. Yeah, you know, in the NBA, in a 7-game series, when the teams are split after 2, the team that wins Game 3 goes on to win the series 76% of the time. And that fact is not lost on Flip Saunders. The coach before the game said, if we win tonight, we'll gain a lot of confidence from having won 2 in a row. If Boston wins tonight, they regain their home court advantage and get that monkey off their back of not winning on the road in the playoffs. The winner tonight, he said, Mike, will have a lot of positive emotion to carry forward, and I know our players understand that.
Well, Michelle, that monkey has been on their back. That's all they've heard about. 3 losses in Atlanta in the first round. 3 losses in Cleveland in the second round. Mark, this is a veteran team, again, that's played so well on the road for the regular season. Is this in their heads at all as they take to the floor tonight?
I don't think it's in their heads. I think what's in their heads is how did we find a way to get it done 66 times in the regular season. Does not matter where we play. We have to be true to what the foundation we laid, and that's solid defense and executing offensively. They got to get back to that.
Well, you saw Doc Rivers. He blamed their defense for the Game 2 loss. He said, we didn't have a great defensive game. We scored 97 points, shoot 49% from the field, and lose. As we get set to go, the officiating crew for tonight, an experienced crew, Dick Bavetta, Ronnie Garrettson, and Monty McCutcheon. Another sellout crowd. These are great fans here at the Palace, and they are tough on the visitors. As Rajon Rondo will get going, and Rip Hamilton's been guarding him most of the first 2 games. There's Pierce inside, and a quick 2 points for Boston.
That's a tough play to guard. You talk about the size and strength of Paul Pierce. Nice slice cut to the hoop. Gets Tayshaun Prince off of him. Easy lane.
The 1 game they played in the regular season here was won by Boston. It actually stopped an 11-game winning streak for Detroit as McDyess's first shot won't go, and Perkins with the rebound.
And that was much better Celtic rotation when they trapped the catch-and-shoot play of Hamilton. And Perkins is a very good rebounder. Did a good job cleaning up the miss.
Ray Allen misses. Ball knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Wallace. Of course, the one positive for the Boston Celtics off that loss, and I know as a coach there's no such thing, but Ray Allen finally got himself going.
Well, they're not winning this series in road games without Ray Allen playing well.
Allen had a playoff high 25, including 12 in the fourth quarter. He had been having one of the worst slumps of his career prior to Game 2. Rondo out to Garnett. Garnett, nice feed. 2 pretty assists for Kevin Garnett. And the Celtics lead 4-0.
And Perkins has got to make himself available just like that. They're ignoring Rondo on the perimeter. They're ignoring Perkins inside. He's got to make them pay. Good use of the open area, and then a quick catch and dunk.
Pistons, meanwhile, during the regular season, had the 3rd best home record as Prince steps up for a 2-pointer. That won't go. Perkins another rebound. They were 34-7 here at the Palace during the regular season. 5-1 in the playoffs. The 1 home loss was Game 1 of the opening round of Philadelphia as Garnett rattles it in. And an excellent start for Boston.
You know, one way to really take advantage of playing on the road is taking the crowd out of it. And the Celtics have done that to start this ball game. Early, aggressive, big-time looks on the offensive end.
Jeff, when you look at road success, blocking foul called on Garnett, what's the statistic or what's the area as a coach that has to happen to have road success?
Well, I think 2 things. Field goal defensive percentage and keeping your turnovers down so you're not beating yourself. And then if you can also get to the free throw line, that slows the game down and takes away even more transition opportunities.
Chauncey Billups Three-pointer won't go. Garnett tips it. Ball loose. Picked up by Rondo. Rondo gets inside. Nice layup. And just like game one, as there's a foul as well, Celtics off to an 8-0 start.
I think if you're the Celtics, one thing you want to do is get easy baskets. And just like Coach talked about, one of the other things is you don't want to give up easy baskets. Rondo aggressive, taking it to the cup, not looking to pass the basketball, but gets the lay-in and the contact.
Phillips the foul. And one free throw coming up. Time
about that. What do you think is on GoDaddy.com? What type of information?
You're going to have to go and get that for yourself.
All right. I'm going to do that tonight when I get back.
You'll be on a computer for hours. Rondo battling Phillips. And a key Rondo who has really struggled on the road. Played much better at home. Phillips poked away by Perkins.
And Rondo's running up the floor. His shoe is on the other end, so he's actually playing with one shoe right now.
And Perkins bobbling it, so the Pistons get it back. Ray Allen to the basket. Nice drive. 11-0 start for the Celtics.
And they took his shoe off the court, and he can't find it now.
I'm amazed because
that's home court advantage, Mark Jackson.
Well, he's still faster than I ever was my entire career.
Rasheed Wallace, nice up and under move. And the Celtics scored their first points. Took them 3 minutes.
That's a great point because he normally shoots the fadeaway there. Garnett was trying to close the space, and he stepped right by him.
It's not a move you see from him very often. And after missing their first 4 shots, knocking that one down, Rondo, ball fake, goes right at Phillips. That layup won't go. Allen deflects it out of bounds. The Celtics have said that they want to push the ball. They want to run. Does a fast pace favor them?
Well, it does, in my opinion, but the only way that you run is you get stopped defensively. The problem in Boston, they didn't get stopped, so it was tough. You look at Perkins on the switch last time against Phillips. Everybody's locked in, communicating. He's in a defensive stance, does not surrender. That's how you run. It starts on the defensive end.
Pistons in game 2, 6 players in double figures, including the 5 starters. Feet inside. McDyess can't get it to go. Pierce the rebound. The balance from Detroit is what was so impressive the other night in Boston. Ray Allen, open 3. And Wallace the rebound. Flip Saunders waving on his team. Push it up. We'd like to see them push as well. Phillips to Hamilton. Hamilton from 3. And McDyess couldn't handle it, but he's fouled. I believe Rondo.
But Rondo on those pick and rolls has to stop hitting the screen and dying on the screen. He's got to keep coming because I thought Phillips passed a wide open opportunity up right there. He's got to figure out how he's going to navigate those screens.
My mistake, foul on Perkins, not Rondo. That's his first. Hamilton cuts to the basket. Can't finish, but McDyess right there. Back out for the baseline jumper. That won't go. And Garnett the rebound. Detroit 1 for 7 to start. Pierce drives on Prince, and a foul before the shot. As Tayshaun Prince will pick up his first. Celtics take it out of bounds. This is one of the real fun matchups in the series. Pierce, one of the best scorers, so tough. And Prince, one of the premier defenders in the NBA.
Well, we talked to Paul Pierce before game 1. He said, hey, I feel like I cannot be defended one-on-one.
First turnover for the Celtics. But good transition defense. Hamilton and Allen. Hamilton inside, banks it in. For a guy that's slight of frame, he's got some strength down low.
I think if you're Doc Rivers, you can't be satisfied with the looks that Rip Hamilton has had early. Wide open looks, and that time, easy laying over Ray Allen.
Garnett double team, offensive foul, and that's his second. Garnett claiming he was held, but he's not going to get any help this time, and he might have to go to the bench. P.J. Brown quickly gets up.
And Kevin Garnett arguing, saying, hey, Rip Hamilton grabbed my arm. Certainly did. Does a good job of a veteran move getting away with it. Garnett has a legit argument, but right now he's on the sideline with his second foul.
They missed that one, as Garnett will have to sit down. The fans here politely telling him to please go sit down. There are some harsh words coming from the crowd.
That's the second game in a row where foul trouble has really disrupted the normal Celtic rotation. Game 2, Ray Allen in foul trouble. Here, Garnett in foul trouble.
Prince. Perkins has come out strong. We've seen Perkins start off like a house of fire with rebounding. He had 10 rebounds in game 2. Allen floating. Rondo, nice feed, and P.J. Brown quickly gets on the board. Excellent pass from Rajon Rondo.
What you love is that the perimeter guys for the Celtics, they're putting so much pressure on the Pistons defense. Dribble penetration from Ray Allen. Rondo immediately catches, aggressive move, and P.J. Brown attacks.
McDyess looking to post up P.J. Brown. McDyess has been one of the unsung heroes for this team. Bad pass that time. Wallace able to save it, but throws it out of bounds. And that's the second Piston turnover.
Well, Doc Rivers has to love the rhythm that his offense is playing with right now. Ray Allen looking to be aggressive, dribble penetration. Rondo, where he thought before, now it's on the floor. Make a play for somebody else. That's what they have to do to be successful here.
Phillips really denying Ray Allen, but a little too strong. Ball. And we'll have a quick timeout. So Chauncey Billups will pick up his second foul. A couple of key players already with 2 personals.
Well, Detroit and Billups are trying to deny the ball to the wing to Ray Allen. Just a little too much contact for Dick Clavetta. And Billups picks up a cheap foul with the Boston Celtics up.
Coach Doc Rivers says this team has the mental makeup to deal with all the talk about still looking for their first road win of the playoffs.
This team is a very confident basketball team, and that's why I think we've had a lot of success. You know, obviously the talent is why you have had the most success. But they believe. You know, we're a team that believe. We believe in each other. We have great trust. And, you know, so when you get in tough situations, we bounce back all year, and we feel we will again. You know, again, with the road, though, we assume at some point we're going to have to win a road game.
Well, they won 31 of them during the regular season, including a rare Texas sweep late in the year, winning in Houston, Dallas, and San Antonio. That's hardly ever done. And they're feeling pretty confident right now, Jeff.
Well, I think their confidence starts with Doc Rivers' confidence. He exudes confidence, faith, and trust, and I think his players feed off of that.
Wallace, top shot. You see Wallace's numbers in the playoffs have been much better at home. And he knocks that one down for his second field goal.
An interesting thing, Flipside is going with the young guard Stuckey early in the first quarter, substituting for Chauncey Billups. If you're Rondo, you can't relax defensively.
Ray Allen. This is a 3. Of course, Billups and Garnett both now on their respective benches with 2 fouls, so some early foul problems. Under 5 to play here in the opening quarter. Stuckey has been superb, really starting to open eyes around the league. Some excellent postseason performances. Wallace, at that time, Prince the rebound. Prince right back up and in. Tayshaun Prince, who's played more minutes in the playoffs than any member of the Pistons, averages about 40 minutes a game for the team. Pierce, shuffle pass. Perkins couldn't hold on. Nearly stolen by Allen instead of foul. And Ray Allen will pick up his first.
Good defense by Rip Hamilton. If you're Paul Pierce, you have him right where you want him. Bigger, stronger, get to your spot. You don't want to rush offensively.
Third team foul. Usually when Billups went to the bench, it was trouble, but not the way Stuckey has been playing. He's rookie from Eastern Washington. Very impressive as we have another foul already on Ray Allen. This was his performance. Had some big buckets in that fourth quarter. Scored 13 points. He is showing no signs of any playoff fear in his first postseason. Mark, you had a chance to talk to him before the game. Very impressive, humble kid who you can tell he's going to work hard to be a special player.
Really, just looking in his eyes, he shakes your hand, calls you sir, respectful, talks about being great, what it takes, talks about the impact that different people have had in his life to put him in this position. It was a joy to actually have a conversation.
One of those guys quick to give credit Of course, growing up, gives credit to his mom. Now in Detroit, gives credit to Lindsey Hunter as he draws the foul there. He's going to go line for 2. You couldn't ask for a better situation for a kid like Stuckey. You come into a situation where you've got veterans at your position as he makes a good hard drive to the basket here. Plus, your boss is Joe Dumars. Boy, you can really soak up a lot of knowledge here in Detroit.
And he said that's been key. He said, hey, I sit down with Joe Dumars. I have an opportunity to be with Lindsey Hunter and Chauncey Billups and Rip Hamilton on a daily basis. There's no coincidence why I'm successful. He deflects all the credit to these guys.
Dumars told him what he needed to do to be what they feel can be a very special player. He's also an excellent free throw shooter now in the playoffs, 34 for 37. He hit his first 27 free throws of the playoffs, knocks those down, and it's a 5-point game.
And here the Celtics are again. 2 of their top 3 players in foul trouble. Where is the offense going to come from?
Allen Garnett each with 2. Here's the main man right now. Dangerous pass, deflected by Prince. But last touch by Rondo, and that's already 4 turnovers, and that's what you talked about, Jeff.
You can't beat yourself. You have to get shots up at the basket, quality shots, but they just don't have a lot of spacing on the floor with Rondo, Perkins, and Brown on the floor together.
Rip Hamilton knocks it down. Hamilton coming off a huge game, too. And Sam Cassell is going to come in. Boston's going to call a timeout first. Doc Rivers needing some offense with the foul trouble. Cassell has not played the last 4 games as this crowd getting fired up after the slow start.
And talk about the Pistons getting it done defensively, offensively, finding a rhythm. Jumping up, screen, Rip Hamilton knocks down the jumper, and the Pistons on an 8-0 run and balling.
Tonight, about 30 miles away at Joe Louis Arena. It's a tough night for the sports fans for trying to decide which one to watch.
Tigers better get going or they're going to be out of contention early.
Sam Cassell blocked from behind by Hamilton. Stuckey on the pull-up. And a loose ball foul on Pierce. And now the Celtics, they're in the penalty, so Jason Maxiell will shoot free throws. Let's send it over to Michelle.
Well, you guys, during the timeout, Doc Rivers said to Paul Pierce, hey, you're trying to be a passer. You need to be a scorer. They're not doubling you. Go ahead and be a scorer. When the double teams come, then you can be a passer. Mike?
And you can tell that Doc Rivers went to the same exact play, a high pick and roll where Rip Hamilton switched and was on Paul Pierce. Both times, turnovers, bad decision. That's where Pierce has to get everybody out of his way and look to make a play.
Not only those 2 games, but his last 5 games, he's averaging almost 27 per. As Maxiell misses the first. And having just a terrific stretch. He's also playing a ton of minutes. His last 3 games, he's played 44 minutes, 44 minutes, and almost 47 minutes in game 2 of this series.
You're a star player. You really don't want to come out of the ball game. So that's not a problem for Paul Pierce. He believes I'll rest on the off day.
All right, here's Cassell at 38 years old, who's not played the last 4 games. Never lacking confidence. He's been desperate to get back on the floor. Eddie House has kind of replaced him as the backup. He turns it over. Stuckey with the foul. Oh, a hard foul from Posey. And Stuckey will shoot 2. No flagrant call.
But here's the dilemma for Doc Rivers. Who do you play as your backup point? When House was in, as you see Cassell with the turnover, good anticipation by Stuckey, good strength, good hard foul. But the point goes, who do you play off the bench for Doc Rivers? Eddie House had trouble to start this series, advancing the ball against Lindsey Hunter's ball pressure. Now you bring in Sam Cassell, who gets a shot block, then he has a turnover. Their big men off the bench have all been hit or miss. So P.J. Brown, Big Baby Davis, and Leon Poe have all been rotated. They just haven't gotten enough consistency.
Right now, the Pistons on an 11-0 run. Big Baby Davis gets off the bench. He's going to come in after the superb start. The Celtics struggling right now. Posey, Cassell, P.J. Brown, 3 reserves in the game. Davis ready to come on. Look at that Piston defense. Cassell with 3 on the shot clock. Forces up a shot. Won't go. The rebound tipped and taken by Perkins. Prince couldn't grab it. And the Celtics get a new 24.
Give credit to the Pistons defense. They are certainly picking it up. But Paul Pierce, this is his time to take over the offense. He can't be a passer. He has to look to be aggressive.
And Cassell has a cut on his right arm. Ronnie Garrettson quickly sees that, so maybe Lacerte will cover that up.
Well, the Pistons are well aware there's no true point guard out there, so they are raising the stakes defensively. Hands in the passing lane, denying the post pass by Stuckey. Help comes quick. They look to trap, force the issue. You try to come off a pick and roll. Look at Rasheed Wallace off the spin move. He is helping, contested by two guys. That's picture-perfect defense by the Pistons.
Depending on the matchup, it's changed, as Jeff mentioned, with some of these role players and bench players for the Celtics. They just need some offense right now. Pierce kicks it out. Cassell. Nice fake. The little mid-range jumper's too strong. P.J. Brown, offensive rebound, rejected. Maxill with the block. Hamilton inside. Stuckey. Nice feed to Maxill. Won't go. Wallace keeps it alive in the second tip. And the Pistons on a 13-0 run. It's their first lead of the game after that slow start. Doc Rivers screaming for hand checks, feeling that the Pistons are being too physical on the perimeter. Posey, and he's fouled. The Pistons really overplaying defensively.
Well, here you see P.J. Brown going up on a second shot attempt. Good job by Maxill, timing, using his left hand, the hand closest to the ball to block it, and then Wallace just pounding the board. The Pistons have really turned the tables on Boston. Boston in game 2 pounded them on the board. Right now, Detroit, the more aggressive team when the ball's in the air.
There you see the Celtics struggles right now. That last foul on Rasheed Wallace, his first. James Posey, who can be a three-point threat, has been quiet offensively in recent games. Able to knock that one down.
Well, the Pistons right now are outworking the Celtics, and Doc Rivers says, hey, I'm going to play Big Baby Davis because I love his energy, and I think he can have an impact on the road.
For the Celtics, those free throws, their first points in over 4 minutes, and it ends the 13-0 run. Garnett on the bench early. With 2 fouls, he played 5 minutes and quickly had to sit down. Cassell on Stuckey. That is a tough matchup for the veteran Cassell. Prince on the pull-up. And a loose ball foul is going to go against Maxill, as Maxill and Davis, a couple of heavyweights, go crashing to the floor.
On your Davis, you have to realize this is a big-time offensive rebound. To put a body on him, stays in front of him. Maxill runs him over. The correct call.
WWF here at the Palace. And because they're in the penalty.
WWF is so yesteryear. Now it's MMA. Randy Couture. You're dating yourself.
I never said I was hip. Davis will go there. You ever been to one of those matches?
No, they scare me.
You know what's amazing? I was there when this guy got the information about mixed martial arts. And now he's going to dazzle people, and people think he really knows.
What do they call that when the guy gives up? What do they call that? Like tapping out or something?
Submission, right? A tap out, right?
Yeah, tapping out.
You learned it out. He learned. You got a good memory. And you didn't even take notes. You just remember it.
It's all locked right in here.
I think you should just give the assist to Mark Cuban because he's the one that helped you out.
Yeah, he wanted me to hype his product.
Nice defense for P.J. Brown. Pulling the chair out from under Rasheed Wallace. Pierce kicks it out. Posey, an open three. Nails it. And the Celtics rebound nicely after that onslaught. They're back up by 5. And that's what you guys talked about early. The role players are the X factors to the Celtics. Guys like Posey and P.J. Brown and the backup point guards have to play well. Wallace for 3.
Well, particularly this unit, they all need to contribute, whether it's with making the extra pass, setting a good screen. You know, it's not just all about shot making. You got to help your team play well.
Cassell sets himself for three, puts it in, and the Celtics on a 10-0 run after the Pistons reeled off 13 straight.
Really, the advantage is only one guy out there really has no playoff experience. The other four guys besides Big Baby Davis been there and done that.
Stuckey. Cassell inadvertently smacked him in the face. Stuckey inside, hard drive, goes out of bounds. That looked like a good no call.
Yeah, and I like Big Baby Davis's rotation. Hasn't been in the rotation consistently, but right there on the spin, had his body outside of the restricted area, did a nice job in helping Sam Cassell, who's at a quickness disadvantage against Stuckey.
Foul problems, key early. Garnett and Allen with two apiece for the Celtics. That caused some problems for a while, but then the bench settled down. Meanwhile, Chauncey Billups has 2 fouls for Detroit.
How about Sam Cassell? They pay you to come out and be a threat offensively. You step in. You're not going to play me? I'm Sam Cassell. You know my work. Knocks down the wide open jumper. And how about Posey? Off the bench, spectacular in rhythm.
Those are the two guys on the Celtics that have championships. Cassell won a couple with Houston, Posey with Miami. They're helping out tonight. Celtics bench in the entire game 2 had 8 points. They have 12 already, part of that 10-0 run, but that whole first quarter was quick Celtic run. Pistons come back, and the Celtics answer.
A good job by the Celtics. Looked like the Pistons were going to take over this basketball game. They stopped the bleeding by executing defensively and then good quality possessions offensively.
Bench in there now for Boston. Pierce is the only starter as Rasheed Wallace jump shot. Nice soft touch for the big man. So it's Cassell, Posey, Davis, and P.J. Brown, 4 bench players, and Pierce. Wallace harassing Brown. Pierce gets inside, feed into P.J. Brown. Shot blocked for the foul. Maxiel will pick up his second.
A smart play by P.J. Brown. No longer has the ability to finish at the rim in traffic, so takes it to the body of the bigger Pistons defenders, forcing the contact.
P.J. Brown, who started this year, not on any team, wasn't signed till late in the season. Louisiana was working out, did a lot of running on the local high school track, played with the high school guys to keep himself in shape. A number of different teams tried. You see all his playoff experience. The Lakers were interested in him. The Hornets, obviously, because he'd been with New Orleans. Signed with Boston, and has been a big plus for them. Helped them win Game 7 against the Cavaliers to advance them to the conference finals. Third oldest player in the league at 38. Cassell's 4th at 38 as he picks up a foul.
Foul, Sam Cassell.
Cassell, who will talk to everyone and anyone before, during, and after the game.
But to me, that's a poor decision that led to a poor foul. Trying to pressure the quicker, faster Stuckey up the floor has never been a part of Sam Cassell's game.
No, even when he was a young spring chicken. He actually says that the talking, he uses that as strategy. As Maxiel able to put it in. He says a lot of guys can't talk and play at the same time, and he tries to get them out of their rhythm. He can certainly talk and play at the same time. Dangerous pass. Pierce stayed on his pivot foot. Crowd wanted to travel. Cassell on the drive. Puts up a high arcing shot. Knocks it down.
You know, I played with Sam Cassell in the summer at UCLA. And those look like bad shots. But those are his type shots. He is big time as far as shooting over contested hands.
This is the 4th different team he's played in the conference final for as Stuckey gets inside. Another impressive move from the rookie. Cassell's played with Houston, Milwaukee, Minnesota with Garnett, Flip Saunders, and now Boston. His 4th conference final with 4 different teams. Six-point Celtic lead. Just over 2 minutes gone by here in the second. Good help defense from Maxiel and a travel. And now the guys with the 2 quick fouls will return. Garnett and Allen. Good job done by the Celtic bench as Doc Rivers applauding his young guys. Davis will sit. Pierce will get his first rest.
Interesting thing to look at now with Pierce going off the floor. and Flip Saunders inserting Lindsey Hunter. There's going to be ball pressure. Who will be the primary ball handler for the Celtics? Because the Pistons are going to force the issue defensively.
Lindsey Hunter, who's been a nice spark in limited minutes off the bench. He's out there. 3-guard offense with Stuckey, Hamilton, and Hunter. Maxiel. Drive inside, dumps it in. Nice move from Maxiel. Garnett with the 2 fouls has to be careful.
And I like this move by P.J. Brown, setting a backcourt pick to lessen the pressure by Hunter up the floor.
And Hunter called for a foul. Cassell did a good job of forcing that. That's what Hunter's trying to plead with Dick Bavetta.
We watched Maxiel knock down the jumper prior to this. This time doesn't settle, puts the ball on the floor, realizes that KG has 2 fouls. Good floater in the paint.
Another fun matchup. Hunter and Cassell, a combined 75 years old. Garnett, shot won't go. Stuckey lost it, ball out of bounds. Lonnie Garrettson didn't see it, he wants some help. McCutcheon says it's going to be Pistons ball. Cassell and Hunter, boy, you were still playing when they were playing early.
Why are you talking about age?
Just nice to see some of your former foes out there.
I mean, why don't you just let it go? I heard it the first time, I ignored it.
You look good for your age.
I expect that from this guy, not you.
And I get it. It's an A and B conversation. C has nothing to do with it.
Boy, Maddie, your daughter would be proud that you use her material.
Garnett the rebound. And Cassell will bring it up. Just over 3 minutes gone by here in the second. Garnett, big height advantage on Maxiel, but he plays with such intensity and energy. A couple of shake Bacon's. Oh, what a block from Maxiel. His second rejection. Over the much taller Garnett. He's all fired up now as he badly misses that one. But what a great defensive play. Allen lobs it in, deflected nicely by Stuckey. And the Celtics will take it out of bounds as we'll have a timeout. Nice play from Jason Maxiel. They list him as 6'7". I don't know if he's that tall.
But he's got great length, very good strength here, moving his feet. KG goes into so many multiple moves. He actually brings the ball right back to Maxiel. Maxiel does a good job of going up, timing it. Not on my watch.
Down by 4. Flip Saunders very active and vocal on the sideline for his team.
So we're having to go with KG. Love you, buddy. Let's go.
Chauncey! He's got one shoe! Let's go! Let's go! Come on!
We had a run there. They scored out of our offense down here. We turned it over a couple times. We missed the free throw. We missed at the rim.
Saunders and Doc Rivers have a lot of respect for each other. They actually coached together for Team USA back in 2001, the Goodwill Games in Australia. Saunders was the head coach. Doc Rivers was the assistant. USA won the gold medal. Got to know each other then. How much, Jeff, coaches like that, NBA coaches? Doc was obviously in Boston, then as Ray Allen misfires that. How much do you share information to kind of help each other with ideas?
Oh, I think particularly with guys that you like and respect, when you spend time together, you always are sharing ideas and picking each other, looking at what they do right and well and trying to incorporate that into your own system. But I was told by a coach long ago, it's not about how much information you know, it's how much you can impart to your team that separates coaches.
Off the miss, Celtics look to push. Boston shooting 48%. And nice play from Posey. Is he going to get it in the act as Hunter picks up his second foul? I believe he was inside the three-point mark. So, yes, it's going to be 2 free throws.
That's just a good play by Posey. Knocked down a jump in the same spot previously. Sells the shot to Lindsey Hunter. Takes the contact. Put inside, but a good job of selling the shot.
I asked you that question about the coaches. You've been dealing with questions a lot all week long during these particular playoffs, Jeff. In fact, I was back in New York, picked up the New York Post And there was a big headline.
Better, my teeth are straightening. What's not to be happy about?
That's a very happy look.
Yes.
As the Celtics hit some more free throws. Both teams have been shooting very well from the line in this series. Boston 9 for 9 so far in game 3.
I guarantee a lot of guys that played for him doesn't recognize him in that picture.
Who's that? Hamilton to the basket. Oh, blocked by Brown. B.J. Brown, another nice play. Allen pushing. Back to Garnett for the slam. And the Celtics back up by 8. B.J. Brown getting it started on the defensive end.
He almost leapfrogged Lindsey Hunter.
That was almost Vince Carter over Frederick Weiss back in the Olympics.
Please don't mention that name. We passed up Ron Artest for Frederick Weiss.
Hunter inside. Maxiell given the open look. Jason Maxiell, he can develop that on a consistent basis for you. He can be tough.
Well, the thing that he has, energy and effort, certainly has changed the game when he was inserted on both ends of the floor and being aggressive offensively.
Allen looking for an opening. B.J. Brown fouled by McDyess. Allen just 1 of 6 from the field. B.J. Brown foul, but what play down the other end?
Oh, making a play. Shot blocked by P.J. Brown. Good read by Ray Allen, keeping the ball, making the play. And Lindsey Hunter, my goodness, you have earned the right to be in the poster of KG, the big ticket. Excuse me, I have a meeting with the rim.
It's hard to stop him when he gets going like that.
He's stringing those cliches right together.
He's giving it 110%.
X Factor is now in that discussion, too.
B.J. Brown has just been terrific off the bench. Rondo passes up the jumper as we approach the midway point of the second. Rondo up and under, trying to draw some contact. Pretty play from Rondo.
But again, I disagree with the decision by Rondo. He's open on the initial catch. That was offense by accident at the end. You've got to shoot the first one. Many times when you pass up a good shot early in the shot clock, you're not going to get a better one late.
Hunter with 5 on the shot clock. Nice split of the defense. Kicks it out to Prince. Offensive foul as Posey steps in and draws the charge. Hunter picks up his 3rd. Yeah, we'll have a timeout. Kevin Garnett has spent much of the point lead for the Celtics in their home loss in rest. Garnett and Allen were in foul trouble, yet they still lead by 8.
And what's most impressive is that the bench did it when everything was going south. Came in and really changed the way that the game was going.
And the defense for the Celtics has been excellent. Garnett spinning on Maxiell. Draws the foul. And that's 3 on Maxiell.
And that's great adjustment by Kevin Garnett. Maxiell blocked his last turnaround jumper to the baseline. Instead of going straight up, shows him the ball. Maxiell reacts and creates the contact. Just a great adjustment by Garnett. Here he shows him the ball. Maxiell, remember in the last block, went for another one. Garnett suckered him and got to the line.
They're perfect at the line so far. Now 10 for 10. A reminder, tomorrow on TNT, Game 3 of the Western Conference Finals. They're now in San Antonio. Lakers obliterating the Spurs in Game 2. They lead 2-0. And then Monday night on ESPN, we'll have Game 4 of this series right back here at the Palace. Coverage beginning at 7:30. What a performance from the Lakers last night.
Top to bottom, they're really taking it to the San Antonio Spurs. Kobe Bryant facilitating, but Lamar Odom. Guys, when you look at Fisher and Odom, the way that they started the ball game, aggressive. The Lakers just playing terrific basketball with a great rhythm on both ends.
And it just shows you, when you lose an opportunity like San Antonio had on the road in Game 1, being up 20, it often doesn't present itself again.
People won't even say that the way that Vujacic is defending Ginobili. There's no excuses. Don't tell me about injuries or anything. He is flat out with one mindset defending him and locking him up.
And there you see that series. The Lakers just terrific. But Spurs, of course, in the previous series against New Orleans, they lost on the road. In fact, got beat pretty badly by the Hornets. Yeah. So don't ever count out the defending champs.
They've been there. They understand that the mindset is, hey, take care of business at home and can, put the pressure back on the Lakers. So going back home, could be a good thing for the Spurs.
Stuckey's numbers early, with Billups picking up 2 quick fouls. He entered the game early in the first quarter. You know, we were teasing and talking about him being a poor man's Dwayne Wade. That was one of the comparisons thrown. His favorite player in the NBA is Dwayne Wade.
Yeah, but you guys shouldn't have started that, calling him a poor man's Dwayne Wade.
I did my homework. I didn't start it. Flip Saunders told us in the back, if you would have came to the meeting, he's the one that started it.
I got to talk to Flip about that.
Posey misses. Garnett tips it right back to Ray Allen.
I like Stuckey's answers today before the game. He says, hey, I'm going to be me. Forget about Dwayne Wade. I respect him, and he's a great player, but I'm going to be the best Stuckey that I can be.
Garnett double team. Good help from Stuckey. Rondo just kind of flips it up in the basket. And Rondo now with 7 points.
They're doubling off of him. Got to find the open areas, be aggressive, make or miss, shoot his shot.
Rasheed Wallace short. Celtics are shooting 50% from the field.
Well, that's impressive, but they're getting it done on the defensive end. Their rotations, they are on point.
Beautiful pass, Rondo to Garnett. And this is the largest lead of the first half, a 13-point advantage.
And quietly, Kendrick Perkins has done an outstanding job at both ends, protecting the basket defensively, finding open areas on the offensive end. I really like what he's bringing to the game here tonight.
Again, the role players are the X factors for the Celtics. Getting it done here in the first half on the road. Celtics on a 12-3 run.
See Rondo upstairs to KG. Mama, there goes that man, finishing at the rim again.
Back in Detroit, Boston Celtics trying to win their 17th NBA championship this year. Man who...
Oh, my.
But 2 things I realized. I'd love to have dinner with Bill Russell and sit down and have him tell stories. And the second thing, I'd love to have Mason announce me when I go back home to L.A. Just at the door, just announce me the way that he announced these Pistons.
Wallace for 3. Won't go. Perkins another rebound.
But that's a great effort by Perkins. He showed on the pick and roll. He helped. He closed back out to contest the 3, and then he got the defensive rebound coming all the way from the 3-point line.
Garnett against Wallace, his buddy, puts it up and gets the roll, and it's a 15-point lead. Crowd has gotten very quiet.
And they're running their offense through Kevin Garnett right now. On the block, switching sides, and he is going into the paint area, making big-time moves.
Pistons shooting is down to 34%. Stuckey. Billups swings it. Prince, a wide-open 3. Can't get it to fall. Rebound taken by Stuckey. Ball deflected out. I'm going to say last touch by the Pistons. It appeared that it was deflected by the trajectory. Well, that's a tough word.
No, just for you. But you see what Flip Saunders is doing. They won game 2 because of what his backcourt did. 44 combined points by Billups and Rip Hamilton. Tonight in this first half, just 4 points. They have not allowed the backcourt of the Pistons to take over this game.
Detroit, meanwhile, 0 for 6 from downtown. Under 3 to play, and a reach-in foul on Wallace. That's his second. And the Pistons in the penalty. Not a smart foul there, as you put one of the premier free throw shooters in the game at the line, Ray Allen, who in the postseason is 40 for 41. On the verge of breaking the record for the highest free throw percentage in a single postseason. You know who it was? It was Jack Sikma, who hit 48 of 49 back in 1987.
That's unbelievable. I thought it was 47 or 48, so I was off.
Just the fact, wise guy, that it was Jack Sikma. How about that? A big guy.
Now an assistant coach with the Houston Rockets. I think to speed up the game, when Ray Allen gets fouled in the penalty, just count the 2 and give him a ball right away. You don't have to go through the motions of watching him make them both.
He is a spectacular free throw shooter. Again, Perkins, good help defense. McDyess left open. And Antonio McDyess, who has been terrific in his postseason, knocks that one down, his first field goal. 15-point lead with 2.5 to play in the second for the road team. Boston trying to win their first road game of the playoffs. Perkins dumps it in. What a first half from Kendrick Perkins.
and wanted the basketball. Could have popped out and allowed KG to get on the block, but demanded the basketball. And if you're going to do that, you have to make a big-time move, and he did.
Perkins now defending Wallace. Wallace, that high release. In and out, won't go. Ball tipped out nicely by McDyess. Hamilton. Tough shot, short. Posey the rebound.
Posey's played very, very well. This whole group has played well together. And Doc Rivers is probably going to try to manage some fouls by getting them out.
And a foul on McDyess, who objects to his call on his aggressive post defense on Garnett. Second foul on McDyess. And of course, they're still in the penalty, and Garnett will go back there where the Celtics are 13 for 13.
Half-line shooting for Boston.
This always concerned me as a coach, putting a guy back in with a minute and a half, 2 minutes to go, particularly a star player who's not warm. And will the other team prey on that lack of rhythm and energy and cut into what could be a 19-point lead right here and get it back to a more manageable number?
Pierce, only 2 points. He's only taken one shot. He's hit his only shot in 14 minutes. Doc Rivers, you see him smiling. He has every right to. This has been almost a perfect first half for the Boston Celtics.
And the Pistons really doing them a favor. One thing Coach talked about in Game 2, where the Celtics were having touch fouls with the Pistons and the bonus sending them to the line. Now is the Pistons returning the favor.
Yeah, this crowd is absolutely stunned. They were so fired up to start. Pistons went on a 13-0 run in the first quarter, and now it's pretty quiet. Rondo, the deflection. And last touch by the Pistons. Another turnover. That's 6 now for Detroit.
That's why I always cringe when players, after a road victory, even our players would say, now we're going home. Like home is going to do it for you. You got to play ball. You got to bring the same energy, same urgency that you had in the previous game. You've got to manufacture that, or the home crowd is going to do nothing for you.
Well, there's no question the Celtics playing like the more desperate team here in the first half of Game 3. Rondo, bad pass. Try to alley-oop to Perkins. Wallace picks it off. Coming up on a minute remaining in what has been a dominant first half for Boston. And P.J. Brown can't put two hands on the offensive player when he faces, and he picks up the personal. They are not in the penalty yet, only the third team foul, first in the last 2 minutes. Rondo, a solid first half. 7 points, 3 assists, couple of steals. He has 10 steals already in these first 3 games. Phillips, and there's a foul. Rondo's first. So Chauncey Billups will go to the line with 54 seconds remaining. Billups scoreless here in the first half after that terrific Game 2.
Smart play by Billups, being aggressive, trying to get to the foul line. I think if you're the Celtics right now, getting the basketball back, be very patient, put the ball in Pierce's hands, try to take as much time as possible and get a quality possession.
Each team gets a 20-second timeout in the first half. If you don't use it, you lose it. And Doc Rivers will use his now with 54 seconds left in what's been a terrific Celtic first half. A high shooting percentage at 56%. They've made life difficult for the Pistons at the other end as Billups will go to the line.
But this is a very important last 54.4. They fouled needlessly on the one end. Make Billups make a shot to get going versus put him to the line where he's almost automatic. Got to get good shots and good defensive possession.
That's why I like the timeout by Doc Rivers. Pull your guys over and talk about this crucial offensive possession.
Amir Johnson comes in for the final minute of his first appearance. Amir Johnson comes in for the final minute of his first appearance of this series. Posey on the drive, back out, he's fouled. And the Pistons committing a number of fouls. This will be the 16th and 17th free throw attempt of the first half for the Celtics. And that's 3 fouls on Billups. So Billups, Maxiel, and Hunter all with 3 fouls for Detroit. Nobody with 3 for Boston, although they had the early couple of guys pick up 2.
Well, Posey's done some things tonight that he rarely does. Early in the first half, he posted up once. Then he shot faked and drew a foul. Now he puts the ball on the floor. Usually on the offensive end, he runs the floor well. He spots up and shoots threes. Tonight, he's showing some diversification in his offensive game.
But he misses the Celtics' first free throw. They were 15 for 15 before that one. But the bench, excellent. Now 19 points for the Celtic bench. And they lead by 18. Phillips will sit with the 3 fouls as we wind down the first half. Pierce trying to fight Perkins, picks up Prince. Excellent defense from Perkins, but he doesn't follow, and Prince with the foul, can't get it to fall. Pierce the rebound. Well, you're right, Jeff. Perkins has just been terrific on the defensive end. Boston will hold it for the final shot of the half. Pierce lost it, gets it back, is going to have to hoist it up, does not get it off in time, would not have counted. And a rare mistake for Boston here in this first half. I don't know if it's a smattering of boos, but the Pistons fans not happy. As Paul Pierce of the Big Three getting huge help from their supporting cast. And what a dominant first half for the Boston Celtics. Rajon Rondo, part of that support help, and he's with Michelle.
All right, thank you, Mike. Rajon, what a terrific first half. You guys shooting right around 55%, very aggressive. What was the key to what you guys did on offense in the first half?
Basically just executing the ball, you know, getting easy shots and in the paint and taking open looks.
And some tough assignments defensively, but you've really done a very good job with your aggressiveness on defense. What do you expect from them in the second half?
Well, I expect Chauncey to be more aggressive. You know, he only took maybe a couple shots. I look for him, you know, probably breaking the plays and trying to be aggressive and get to the free throw line.
Rajon, thank you.
Thank you.
Mike?
All right, Michelle, again, the Celtics couldn't ask for a better first half performance. They shoot 55% from the field, 16.
Easy. And defensively, he said, I think we're struggling because of the offense. We're constantly in transition defense. We're missing shots, having to turn around, and we never get a chance to set up our defense. Mike?
All right, Michelle, but we've seen the Pistons, they don't get rattled by things that happen as Garnett grabs the McDyess miss. What was most impressive about what Boston did is they jumped out early, had an 11-point lead. All of a sudden, the Pistons reeled off 13 points. The place was going bananas. They went up by 2. Yet the Celtics, with key guys in foul trouble, were able to come back.
So one thing you can't say is that they were front runners. Kevin Garnett knocks down the jump shot. They were tested because the Pistons came back. But then the Celtics bench put their imprint on this ballgame.
And it's a 20-point lead as Garnett with 14 points. Garnett continues to put up excellent offensive numbers against the Pistons, both regular season and here in this series. Phillips on the drive, blocked from behind by Perkins, but Wallace right there on the tip end.
How many times do we see Kendrick Perkins switch on a smaller perimeter guy, and they show tremendous confidence in him, not overhelping, but trusting that he's going to make life tough.
Rasheed Wallace, the first Piston in double figures. Allen dribbled it off his foot. Hamilton takes advantage. And back-to-back buckets from the Pistons. Rondo will bring it the other way. Rondo, a good solid first half. Garnett to Perkins. Perkins feeling very confident out there, knocks it down. Perkins now 4 for 4 from the field.
Yeah, he's had a great ball game on both ends of the floor. Offensively, looking to be aggressive. You're talking about big-time post move over Wallace.
Prince to McDyess, fouled on the entry pass. It's going to go against Paul Pierce. His second.
You think about it, KG had just knocked down a jump shot, turns it down, gets the ball into the hands of Perkins, post move, puts Rasheed on his hip, fadeaway jump shot. That's a pretty move by Perkins.
And Jeff, these guys are looking for their shots, so it's not like you can just lay off them. You see Perkins and Rondo when they're aggressive like that.
It's the second post move that Perkins has converted. What is that?
Wow. There are turnovers, and then there are bad turnovers. And Rondo's played well, but that was a terrible pass.
No, but those are the type of careless, we're up 18, I can take any chance I want type of turnovers that get Detroit right back into the ballgame.
Rasheed Wallace won't go. McDyess corrals it with his left hand. Excellent rebound in traffic. Phillips on the drive. Gets inside. Shot won't go, but a foul. And Phillips will shoot two. I believe that was on Ray Allen. And that's his third.
And I totally agree with you with the pass by Rondo. That's where veteran leadership has to step to him and say, hey, we can't tolerate that. Let's take care of the basketball. Be patient, but more importantly, be smart.
Does veteran leadership need it to say it that nicely?
No. Some guys, it just depends. You know, sometimes you talk to Jeff and I.
Okay.
You put us in our place quick.
No, but Mark makes a good point. It's timing and how you, and also tone and how you speak to your teammates. And Rondo, first time in the playoffs, you might have to use a softer voice. Other guys, you may be able to go at harder. It depends on his personality.
Garnett looking. Rasheed Wallace, great help defense. Allen struggling with his dribble. Wallace, one of the best help defenders in the league. Allen for three. Won't go. He's struggling again, 1 for 7 from the field.
And I don't like how this half has started for the Celtics. Giving up 2 second shots already. A costly turnover.
Hamilton kicks it out. McDyess, the open jumper that he's hit time and time again. Antonio McDyess shooting 53% from the field in the postseason.
Doc Rivers looking at Rondo. He wants to pick up the pace on the offensive end, but you have to get stops in order to run.
Paul Pierce, meanwhile, has played 19 minutes. He's taken 1 shot. Allen to the basket. Is it a matter of the Pistons are taking the ball out of Pierce's hands, or is he just not looking for his offense?
I don't think they're looking to get him the basketball. Sometimes when you have a cushion, you go away from your best option. Right now, the Celtics have to find Paul Pierce on the offensive end.
Hamilton misses an open 3. Garnett grabs another rebound, his 6th.
But look at the Celtics. They are all trotting up the court. In the first half, they had a better flow and a better offensive energy. And they're playing the score right now instead of playing the game.
Pierce jump shot. And he's 2 for 2. It was more of a rage. They came out with such intensity, and it's just not there to start the third quarter, yet they still lead by 17. Hamilton, chased, dangerous pass. Phillips, back to Hamilton. That's a 2-pointer. Rip Hamilton. He's just 4 of 13 from the field, but that cuts it to 15. Rondo to the basket.
Again, you have to drive to score. And when they play you, that's when the dish pass opens up.
Kevin Garnett on the drive. And he's fouled on the pass.
See, and there's the difference between Rondo's drive on the same possession and Garnett. Garnett put it down on the floor, went up in the air to score, drew the help defender, and then dished it to Perkins. And it led to a foul.
Rasheed Wallace is fouled, so he has 3. That's the 4th Piston with 3 fouls. Ray Allen, the only Celtic with 3. Allen trying to get on track. Wallace all over him. Garnett, the jump shot. Way short. Allen tripped up as Billups able to get it. Phillips back to Hamilton. Puts it in, and it's a 13-point game. Doc Rivers is going to call timeout as Rondo brings it across half court. So after Boston went up by 20, Pistons now starting to chip away, forcing the Celtics to call timeout.
We talked about the perimeter players for the Pistons in the first half struggling. Well, Chauncey Billups pushing the ball up the floor in rhythm. The trailer, Rip Hamilton, all by himself. Now all of a sudden they have a rhythm, they have balance, and they are aggressive.
Hamilton had 25 in game 2. Started slowly, but perhaps starting to heat up right now.
I thought you were staying there.
Finals they lost to Cleveland last year, Miami the year before, and even Rasheed Wallace said maybe our time running a little thin. They want to get back to the finals and win a title this year. Garnett, little shake and bake, nice move, shot won't go, rebound, foot, oh, tipped in. If Perkins get a hand on that with all those Pistons around.
And that was a great misdirection post-up play for Garnett. Garnett out of the timeout, and Perkins' effort has been really instrumental tonight.
Phillips misses a three. Rondo the rebound. Pistons still without a three-pointer. They're 0 for 8. Rondo trying to find an opening. And here's Pierce again. Pierce has not been a factor offensively, although he's been able to get some open teammates like that. Garnett misses. Rondo another rebound.
That's good offense. And if I was Doc Rivers that last time out, I'd introduce my players to Paul Pierce. Good things happen when he has the ball in his hands. That's a good jumper by Kevin Garnett off of the play of Pierce. Garnett drives on Wallace, gets inside, draws the foul.
And it's going to go against Rasheed Wallace. That's his 4th. They're going to say it's on the pass. He was shooting that ball. Now he's going to the line as we check in with Michelle.
Well, during that last timeout, Doc did not introduce his team to Paul Pierce. I think they already were pretty familiar with him. But he did say this, guys. He said, hey, keep playing. You got to be solid. We've had too many turnovers. We can't play the score. We got to play good basketball. We got to get the ball moving again. We got to get back to running. And the reason we can't run is because they're scoring every time. So we've got to get back to our defensive pressure.
And that, Michelle, certainly was the key in the first half. The Pistons really struggled, only scoring 32 points in the opening 2 quarters. Pierce has hit both his shots, although they are double teaming him quite a bit.
Right, but they haven't gone to him as much. But I like what Mark said. They came out of the timeout. They ran a pick and roll that had been very good for them in the previous games. Pierce, Garnett, and it got Garnett a wide open shot that led to a second shot. So you can't just go by whether the ball goes in. It's the quality of shot. They got a good quality shot.
And it's not the defense why he has 2 shots. They're going away from him. Even if you put him in a position where they're trapping, good things are going to occur.
McDyess again. It's almost automatic when he takes the perimeter jumper.
And that's why the Pistons backcourt have to be aggressive, because you got big guys that can knock down shots. It's going to open up offense for those guys.
Garnett, quick move inside, puts it in, and a foul. Garnett with a chance for a 3-point play. He's got 18.
Here's what I love about Garnett on the post all night long. It's been quick first step, whether he stays on that side or goes the opposite way. That time blows by McDyess baseline. Good job of finishing at the rim with the contact.
3rd foul on McDyess.
And I'm surprised that they're not helping more off Rondo like they did in game 2. They were much more active to give support on a Pierce post-up, on a Pierce-Garnett pick and roll, and also on Garnett's post-up. So I think Billups or Hamilton, who's ever got Rondo in that possession, has got to be more aggressive.
They have not had an answer for Garnett during the regular season and here in this series so far. Not that many teams do. Lead back up to 18, under 5 to play in the 3rd. Prince, good defense from Pierce, keeping him in front. Nearly knocked it away, got a piece of it, and the rebound, Perkins. Paul Pierce continues to impress with his defense. Alley-oop to Garnett. Jammed it off the backboard, picked up by Paul Pierce. The extra pass, Perkins. Again, Perkins, 6 for 6 from the field, and it's back up to 20. And the Pistons hearing a smattering of boos again.
I tell you what, I believe that Kendrick Perkins is underrated. When you watch the way that this guy plays the game of basketball, doesn't make mistakes, high IQ on the defensive end, and takes what the defense gives him offensively. They talk about reading the play. Paul Pierce penetration, spot out wide, gets it to KG, wait and be patient. Patience rewarded. Delivered from KG, and Perkins, that underrated man, knocks down the Jet.
He also has a block. He also has a steal. Some excellent defense. Before the game, there was a special moment, as we remind you about the Detroit Pistons Red Cross and Pistons Michigan hero. The crowd gave him a very warm, special standing ovation. A terrific moment for PFC Werder. Traveling violation on Antonio McDyess. I'm surprised, granted they're not playing well, I'm surprised they're hearing boos.
I agree with you. I don't understand why in a playoff game, as a fan, you would think that would help your team play better.
Yeah, these are great fans. Their team struggling big time. Allen, left-handed, can't get it to go. Rondo nearly tips it in. Rodney Stuckey's in. Phillips sits. Maxiel has come on as well. Two big energy young bench players for the Pistons, trying to get some kind of spark going for him here in the third. Stuckey, hard drive, shot, won't go. Pierce the rebound, quick outlet. Here come the Celtics. Rondo to Allen. Well, good transition defense.
But Pierce did a great job down there in team defense last time, getting the Celtics out of obvious mismatches.
Oh, nice pass, Garnett. Backdoor for Ray Allen, and it's a 22-point lead.
And that's what Doc Rivers is talking about, pushing the basketball. You don't get anything on the initial break, but you put pressure on the defense and wind up with a high percentage play, KG to Allen.
Garnett is the leading assist man in the game. He has 5. McDyess. Shot clock down to 5. McDyess kicks it back out. Stuckey has to throw up a 3. Won't go. Perkins, another rebound, his 9th. And a dangerous pass there.
Now, I disagree with you guys, too. Hey, the fans, you deserve, it's okay to boo. When your team in Game 3, you just stole home court, and you come out and you're down 22 late in the third quarter, you deserve to be booed. Just like a coach yelling at a team, trying to send a message.
Rondo draws the foul. Well, they're getting out hustled, that's for sure. There's just a lot more intensity right now on the Boston side.
I'll get back to you on that, but here's a good backdoor cut. Garnett hit and overplayed Rip Hamilton, totally out of position body-wise. I don't know why he would be playing on the top side of Ray Allen. I'm going to boo that. I'm booing that defensive possession right there. Boo!
So you agree with me?
No, I'm coming back to, here's my thing. If you want a better result as a fan, wouldn't it be better if they stood up right now in unison and gave them a standing ovation to try to inspire them rather than mire them down in their quagmire that they're in right now?
Okay, don't try to dazzle me with your definition, your high-priced vocabulary. This is my point. Then why don't, as a coach, you clap to the guys when they make mistakes and give fake hustle, energy, and effort? Why do you yell? It's the same thing that the fans are doing.
Point noted.
Spell quagmire.
Q-U-A-G-M-I-R-E. That's an SAT word. I had to take the SAT to get into college. Who took yours, Mark Jackson? Oh, you got nothing for me there either. You got nothing for me.
That's mean. I can't believe this guy, man. That's below the belt. Keep him up, man.
Is that what they say, the ref?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Hamilton knocks the shot down. That makes it 21 as we come up on 2 minutes remaining. Rondo, Stuckey got a piece of it. Davis lost it. And it's going to be Piston ball with 2 minutes remaining here in this third quarter in what has been a shocking result thus far, to the point where the Pistons fans have booed their home team a little bit. Chauncey Billups, so good in Game 2, has struggled. No field goals here in Game 3. Stuckey, and a blocking foul call on Rondo. We'll call it on the pass. 68-47. You guys going to keep sniping at each other?
I can't believe this guy just went at me. I went to St. John's University. I have a degree in communications, man.
I know that. I'm not disputing your degree. I'm just saying I know how you high-priced Division I athletes, you know, had everything done for you. Like, you know what I'm saying, Mike?
No. Remember, here's a guy that transferred out of Yale to play basketball. He left the Ivy League.
That's a joke.
Ray Carrazzo wasn't giving me the time I deserve, Mark Jackson. It's always about PT.
Minute and a half left in the third. It's been all Celtics. Not so much that they're leading, but shocking the margin. Pierce to Rondo. Back to Pierce. Pierce sets himself all the time in the world and nails a 3. A 22-point lead as we wind down the third quarter.
That's horrible defense. Rondo gets a wide-open jump shot from Pierce's penetration. He doesn't take it and says thank you in his body language by finding Pierce. Poor defense by the Pistons.
Good defense by Pierce there to deflect it out of bounds.
And you know what's interesting? All the starters for the Pistons that we've interviewed all pointed to the energy of their bench as being a big difference for why they're better this year. And what they really was self-incriminating, that they say basically they don't play with great energy as a unit sometimes.
Did he say we interviewed?
You interviewed and I sat in the back. But the point is, The starters have to do their job energy-wise, and they have not done it.
Are you kidding me?
We are both, like, not on the same page right there.
So it's been consistent over the years.
Yeah, nothing's changed.
I'm going to tell you one thing. There is only, when you're a coach, you never felt better than when you had a numbers advantage and the ball in his hands running the break.
I think he just apologized for that statement. Apology accepted.
Okay, that's not an apology, because that'd be fake. That's the truth. You're going to make the right decision.
I remember Lou Carnesecca saying that. He never felt more secure when the ball was in Action Jackson's hands.
Oh,
no, that's the truth, though.
Can we get back to game 3?
Yep. 55 seconds left here in the third.
Well, if the Pistons would get back to game 3, we could get back to game 3. They should start playing.
Posey hits another. Free throw shooting just superb. 22 of 24. In what is turning into an embarrassing performance for the Pistons, down by 24 points on their home floor after such an impressive road win in game 2.
I like the mentality of the Celtics and their leader, Doc Rivers. He said, hey, when they lost game 2, now we have to go win a game on the road. No sense in panicking. We knew we had to do it all along.
Big Baby Davis trying to draw the charge. Instead, Hamilton will go to the free throw line.
I'm telling you, every big man for the Celtics has really been sharp in their help defense tonight. Starting with Kendrick Perkins, P.J. Brown's always been a good defender, but Big Baby is a much better team defender than I would have first realized coming out of LSU.
And I think if you're Doc Rivers, what you do is, after this game, when you win, by the way they're playing, show footage tomorrow. Show some film of everybody rotating. It's a thing of beauty. You can enjoy it and also put in their minds, when we get it done, we win ball games.
Well, it's been a thing of beauty for the Celtic fans right now. The Pistons fans silent here at the Pal on the road. This was not a good road team. This was a terrific road team during the regular season, and it was puzzling on how inconsistent they were. But they came out with such a sense of urgency, and maybe losing at home made the difference. Nice steal from Hunter, and then a reaching foul from behind after Rondo lost it. Is that going to be a clear path foul? That's what Flip Saunders is asking. Nope, they say no. So just free throws as the Pistons in the penalty.
And I think if you're the Pistons, you have to understand there's still a quarter to be played. This game is far from over when you play the way you're supposed to play. Defensively getting into this Celtic team and offensively being aggressive. There's a lot of basketball left.
And Detroit came out in a little 1-2-2 half-court trap. Lindsey Hunter, maybe one of the best ever at picking people off the dribble. And that's a play to me that it's a play on. You don't let them stop a fast break with a inconsequential foul. And again, that's what they're instructed to do, the referees. So I'm not going at the referees. I'm going at how they're instructed to call it.
Final seconds of the third quarter. Another strong one for Boston here on the road. There's about a 2.5-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Rondo gets to the basket. Offensive foul. Not a smart play as Maxiel draws the charge. 11th turnover for Boston. 4th foul for Rondo.
Concern if you're Rondo, I mean, you just got your pocket picked and then you get a charge. You got to run the offense. You're the point guard of a team in the Eastern Conference Finals.
He's been very good at not turning it over. Stuckey gets inside. An easy bucket for Stuckey, and that cuts it to 18. And the third quarter comes to an end. Boston Celtics now 12 minutes away from their first road win of this postseason. They've led by as many as 24, getting big games for a number of people. And this presentation of the East Finals on ABC continues after this message and a word from our ABC stations. First road win of the playoffs. Are up by 18 now. Twice in the Atlanta series, they had leads going into the fourth quarter and lost. Game 4 against Atlanta, they were up by 10. and lost to the Hawks. The other one, they're only up by 3. This is obviously the biggest margin to start the fourth as Posey misses. And Wallace the rebound. First couple of minutes so critical right now.
And again, they're in the 1-2-2 half-court trap, sort of flattening out the Celtics' movement and aggression offensively.
Hamilton moving without the ball. Sam Cassell hit him, and Hamilton will shoot.
Rip Hamilton, the best in the business now at moving without the ball, grabs Sam Cassell's arm to use that to propel him. And he's as good as anyone at flopping when he gets hit, but then also he's got all the tricks. Grabs the arm to give him an advantage. That's an offensive foul.
Tonight, this is his 113th playoff game. That ties him for the most playoff games by a Piston. Ties him with Bill Lambier. Hits a couple of free throws, and it's a 16-point game. Opening minute here in the fourth. Celtics trying to regain home court advantage. They have been superb through the first 3 quarters. Ball knocked out of bounds. Still Boston. Possession with 12 on the shot clock.
And again, the 1-2-2 trap, not to belabor the point, has the Celtics in a quandary. Do we run half-court zone offense, or should we stay in our man-to-man offense?
Quandary or Quagmire? P.J. Brown won't go. Posey tips it nicely to Garnett. And those are the little plays that the Posies and P.J. Browns and Perkins have been doing all night long. Hard screen set by Garnett. The backseal to Ben Cassell. Garnett has it poked away by Stuckey. The rookie with the steal. Driving down, puts it in. Tough shot from Stuckey and a foul. The impressive rookie with a chance for a 3-point play, and suddenly it's 14.
On the switch, Stuckey comes from the weak side to knock it free, and then uses his strength and speed to ward off Garnett for the possible 3-point play. And again, this is what you're constantly talking to your team about when you're playing with a lead like the Celtics are. Play the game instead of playing the score. They got up 24, the inevitable let up. Detroit senses it, plays better, and now right back into the game.
And Stuckey completes the 3-point play. This impressive rookie from Eastern Washington. In double figures again. 13-point game. Still so much time, just over a minute gone by. The crowd who was booing earlier now fired up behind their home team. Here's to Allen. Allen back to Pierce. Wide open look for 3. It's good as the shot clock expires, and that's a big bucket.
That's a big-time play. What you don't want to do against a half-court trap is go east-west. Go north-south. Put the ball on the floor and make a play. That time Allen did for Pierce.
Pierce has only taken 4 shots, but he's hit all of them. Wallace to the basket.
I think if you're Flip Saunders, this is something that you will go to throughout the course of this series. You're seeing that it's having an impact, half-court trap against the Celtics.
Pistons really overplaying defensively, and Rondo's foul by Rip Hamilton. And it's going to be the first team foul, second on Hamilton.
This is where Rondo has to have the right amount of aggression and poise.
Doc Rivers has entrusted this young man, just his second year out of Kentucky, as the starting point guard for a 66-win team. He has really grown as the season's gone on. Pierce tripped up. And there's Hamilton called for that one. Second team foul, and third on Hamilton.
And this is why you play all game long, because now the Pistons are in a position where they have to get stops. There's no cushion. Every possession counts.
Stuckey getting big minutes once again. Here's double. Allen for 3. Won't go. Wallace the rebound. Hunter to Hamilton. Quick jump shot. He rushed it. Rebound tipped and taken by Garnett. 2.5 gone by here in the fourth. Pistons desperate to get back in the game. Almost another steal. where Pistons have really picked up the physical play.
Well, they're careless with the basketball. If you're a point guard or you're a guy with the ball in your hands, make the trap come and then make the play. They get a little too careless offensively for the Celtics, but give the Pistons credit. They are staying with it and forcing the issue defensively.
And they're forcing Pierce to pass. Allen, Rondo, wide open, takes the jumper, knocks it down.
You know, he makes that baseline 17-foot shot. There should be no hesitation. He doesn't have to overthink it. If I'm open and I'm in my range, shoot the ball.
Stuckey to the basket. He draws the foul, banks it in on continuation. Rodney Stuckey with another three-point play opportunity.
How many teams in this league would love to have this young man running their show, not coming off the bench, but starting as a point guard. Poised and patience, tremendous strength, takes the hit from Pierce, and once again, going to the line for a possible three-point play. And his coach loving the way his youngster has fixed it up.
Again, Stuckey was their first-round pick this year, 15th overall selection out of Eastern Washington. It was a pick they obtained in the trade that sent Darko Milicic to Orlando. He played 2 years of college. They were hoping that he would stay there at 15. He was a big-time scorer at not a big-name school, but averaged 25 a game his sophomore year, his last season. He's turning into a big-time scorer on the biggest stage. Rondo. Pierce spinning, little out of control, gets it to P.J. Brown. Garnett, the offensive board, tries to draw the foul, gets it back again. Shot clock did not reset, didn't hit the rim. Ray Allen, the jump shot. That's short, right back at the Garnett. And the bounce going Boston's way. And Doc Rivers doesn't like what he sees. He'll call timeout. Now the Pistons playing with desperation. But they fell behind by as much up the Red Wings score. Game 1 for the Stanley Cup Finals. Red Wings winning that. Tigers won. They put that score up. Crowd trying to get 3 for 3 for their home team. And there's still some trying to watch as that Red Wings game just became a final. P.J. Brown out there again. Rondo inside. Nice shot from Rondo. That time, no hesitation.
A good ball movement. Paul Pierce took the trap and then got the ball to P.J. Brown. Good offense beats good defense.
Maxio, Stuckey, Hunter. 3 bench players out there with Rasheed Wallace and Tayshaun Prince. Hunter, pass inside, knocked away. Good help defense from Pierce. Only the 9th turnover by Detroit. And a kick ball from Stuckey. Perkins will come back in for P.J. Brown. Hamilton's going to come back in as well. Visit NBA.com. You can jump right into the conference finals now at NBAstore.com. Find the best selection of team jerseys, hats, T-shirts, and more. NBAstore.com. They got them. They got all kinds. Garnett tipped. Boy, that defense is tough. Garnett felt he got fouled. There was a lot of contact, 3-on-1. And a smart foul from Ray Allen. And Stuckey will go to the line. That's 4 on Allen. Let's send it over to Michelle.
You see all the physical play, and during the last timeout, one of the things that the Celtics staff talked to the players about was, look, there's going to be a lot of reaching and grabbing by the Pistons. The officials aren't calling it right now, so just let it go and go with it.
They have picked up the defense. They've always been a physical defensive team. You see Stuckey's numbers. Rattles in another free throw.
I think if you flip on it, you say, hey, we have to force the issue defensively. Pressure either bust pipes or makes diamonds. Right now it is busting pipes offensively for the Celtics.
Flip Saunders going with his rookie. Stuckey's played almost as many minutes as Chauncey Billups tonight. 1 less, and he has delivered once again.
But against this trap, I don't know if it's busting pipes or getting diamonds, but they got to get somebody to the middle right now to be the playmaker against the trap. Look at Garnett in the middle. That's where you beat the zone defense.
Ray Allen for 3. Puts it in. Ray Allen, 2 for 12 on the night. It's a big bucket for the Celtics.
But you make a great point. By getting it into the middle, it releases the pressure, and you're trusting the guy to make a play.
Tayshaun Prince, short. Fight for the rebound. Garnett fighting for it. Takes it away. Kevin Garnett with his 11th rebound. Garnett having another one of those all-around games. 19 points, 11 boards, and 6 assists. Stuckey with the steal. Stuckey up to Wallace. There's a 3. Can't get it to go. And Ray Allen the rebound. 0 for 10 from downtown on the Detroit Pistons. Meanwhile, Allen was struggling until this shot.
Well, this was great offense against the zone. They got the ball into the middle to Garnett. You get it into the middle, and then weak side, you'll always get a good look.
Garnett now with McDyess on him. McDyess back in for Maxio. Rondo another open baseline jumper. Not that time.
That is his shot, though. Shoot your shot.
Hamilton shoots his shot. And Rip Hamilton coming alive. He's got 20.
Interesting thing, flip side is staying with the young guard and Stuckey. Chauncey Billups on the bench, so doesn't have confidence in the guys that he had playing all season long off the bench and playing with the young fella Stuckey at the point.
Perkins, tough shot. Not that time. Wallace another rebound as we get to the midway point of the fourth. Perkins' first miss of the night. He's now 6 for 7. Hunter stripped by Garnett. A hit to Rondo. Rondo wisely brings it back out.
But look at the Celtics dragging in. They're not trying to push the pace on a steal or on a miss and make them play man-to-man so they can always reset it back into this 1-2-2 trap.
Pierce finding Perkins. Back out. Allen for 3. Misses that one. Wallace tips it out of bounds. The last touch by Garnett. And we'll have a timeout. Chauncey Billups trying to root on his team. It's been a rough night for Billups with the Pistons on the comeback trail. 5.5 remaining. Fourth quarter of game 3. Celtics still by 14.
Every moment and live it out loud. I know this is the time. This is the time to be more than a name or a face in the crowd. I know this is the time. This is the time of my life.
It's been an emotional, physical series so far. Right now, game 3 from Detroit, the Palace of Auburn Hills. 5.5 remaining in the fourth. Our Verizon Wireless game track. Celtics by 14. They've led by as many as 24. That was in the third. Kevin Garnett leads the team in scoring, in rebounding, and in assists. Kendrick Perkins, a fabulous game. Three-point shooting has been obviously awful for the Pistons, but they still have some time as they cut into this lead.
And it's always an interesting decision for a coach. Do you go back with your starter in Billups, or do you stay with Stuckey, who's played so well tonight?
Now, I've been in that situation as a starter in Indiana. Coach would wait 5-6 minute mark. Travis Best playing the bulk of the minutes. At that point, you might as well stay with him because I'm not loose. I'm on the bench tight. You're talking about Chauncey Billups, a young fella playing well. Stick with him.
Wallace a foul on Ray Allen. And Allen got the shot off, so he'll go to the line. Again, the Celtics winless on the road in the playoffs so far. And look at that defensive performance tonight.
Very solid. Have made very few defensive errors in coverages and schemes.
And again, it's one of the last things we always talk about. But free throw shooting, enormous for Boston. 23 of 25. That's 92%. A fabulous number on the road. And just like that, Allen misses one.
What was your theory about just giving them 2 points and taking it out?
Another cockamamie idea that I had.
McDyess and Hamilton playing catch. Perkins with a foul. Perkins runs away. That's his third. And they're in the penalty. NBA calendar. Tomorrow night on TNT, the Western Conference Finals resumes in San Antonio. Spurs losing the first 2. Lakers so dominant in game 2. 8 o'clock coverage begins with our friends at TNT. Then Monday on ESPN, Game 4 of this series back here at the Palace. Will Boston have that 2-1 lead, regain home court, or can the Pistons make an unbelievable comeback? We'll know in the next 4:48.
Interesting move by Flip Saunders. Goes small. Bring Stuckey back in the ball game for Antonio McDyess. Instead of staying big, Doc Rivers inserts Posey into the ball game. So 4 perimeter guys along with big. 1 big for both teams.
Pistons have shot well from the line themselves. They're 20 of 23. Excellent free throw shooting. But it's the field goal percentage and 3-point percentage where they've struggled. 84-71.
If Boston wanted to stay big, they really could, because Garnett could guard Pierce. So if they struggle playing small against small, expect to see Perkins back in.
Prince with a steal. Here comes Hamilton. Inside Stuckey, blocked by Paul Pierce, and it's still Piston ball with 18 on the shot clock. You like the way Pierce hustled back after he lost the ball down the other end.
So you're trying to win, no time complaining. Get back on the other end and get back into the play. Pierce does that. Block shot.
Hamilton off the inbound, knocks it down, and this is the closest the Pistons have been in the second half.
That's poor defense by Posey off an out-of-bounds set. Allow the shooter to curl in rhythm.
Garnett, Pierce, open 3, won't go. Posey, the rebound. Some pretty big second shot opportunities for the Celtics.
Smart play by Posey also. Bring it back out, run clock, get good offense.
But don't run the clock down. Try to get into your stuff a little bit quicker.
Oh, nice pass, and Posey puts it in. Ray Allen, a pretty feed for his 5th assist of the game.
Good aggressive move by Ray Allen, and then Posey not standing on the perimeter, but slashing to the hoop.
Make that his 6th assist. Stuckey jump shot. And a loose ball foul will go against Detroit. Tayshaun Prince with 3:38 remaining. And the Pistons now in the penalty, so free throws for Boston.
Well, Ray Allen did a good job. Garnett set a good flare screen. Allen drove it baseline instead of spotting up. This time Posey made a cut along the baseline and then used his body to go up on one side, duck under, and use the left hand.
Ray Allen, 6 assists. Kevin Garnett, 6 assists. In game 2, it was the Pistons with 6 players in double figures. In game 3, it's the Celtics, including Posey, who has 12. And a couple of missed free throws from the Celtics after all those makes.
Now you look at Ray Allen struggling from the field, just 3 for 14. But the thing you love about him, he's not tentative tonight. Looking to be aggressive and forcing the issue. Last play, put it on the floor and made a play. This is the Ray Allen that the Celtics need.
Meanwhile, the rebounding disparity growing. Plus 14 for Boston. They have 14 offensive rebounds. And a lead back to 14 with 3.5 remaining. Pistons have made some runs, but the Celtics have hit some big shots to hold them off. Phillips a 3. That's his first field goal of the night. And their first 3-pointer cuts it to 11. Pierce to the basket. Out to Posey. Posey shot. Won't go. Gets it back. Lost it to Phillips. Will the Celtics have another run? Prince on the drive to the basket. It's a 9-point game. Pierce slow to get up. And a timeout call by the Celtics. The Pistons will not go away.
And the Celtics only will have 2 seconds to get the ball across half court.
They always fight back. Chauncey Billups, who's had a rough night and not had a field goal the whole game. It's a big 3. And Tayshaun Prince finishing up. It was a 24-point lead here in the second half. It's down to single digits. New footage. This game 3, the Pistons have turned it around here in the 4th quarter. They trail by as many as 24 in the 3rd quarter, by as many as 18 here in the 4th, and they've cut it now to 9 with 2:56 remaining. Rondo sets it up. He's out there with Garnett, Pierce, Allen, and Posey. Garnett spinning, puts it up. Won't go. Rebound Phillips. Phillips on the drive. Allen stays with him. Oh, bad pass. Bad timing for the turnover for Phillips. Only their 10th turnover of the game. But boy, the Celtics out of sync offensively.
Don't wait for one guy to get the basketball, be patient, and make a play rather than rush.
Pierce trying to find an opening. Shot won't go. Rebound Garnett. And a whistle could hardly hear it with the crowd. They're in the penalty. Some more free throws. You know, the last time the Celtics were in a conference final was back in 2002. They were playing the New Jersey Nets. It was game 3. They were down by 21. Came back and won the game. They've been on the opposite end as Rasheed Wallace is fouled out. Celtic fans certainly remember that game. There's the new Garden. It was one of the greatest comebacks in NBA playoff history. They're trying to avoid something like that here tonight.
And give the New Jersey Nets credit. When they blew that big lead, they came back in the next game and beat the Celtics on the road.
And the Nets wound up going to the finals that year. Garnett misses. So after all the great free throw shooting, suddenly the Celtics are missing some. They're 2 for 5 from the free throw line here in the fourth quarter.
A lot of Detroit fans left early. They may regret that if the Pistons can get a big-time 3.
Back to 10, 2:17 remaining. Both teams in the penalty. Both teams have multiple timeouts remaining. Prince to Billups. Billups puts up a 3. In and out. That one halfway down as Garnett grabs the rebound. His 13th board of the game. Under 2 minutes remaining. Pistons have to get a stop here. Shot clock at 4. Garnett, shot clock at 2. Puts it up, short. And a 24-second violation.
Shot clock violation, Pistons basketball.
And Doc Rivers cannot be satisfied with the offense that his team is getting to close out this ball game. Bad trip after bad trip.
Flip Saunders calls a 20-second timeout. Minute 38 remaining here in the fourth. Pistons down 8. It's their ball when we return.
Noon Eastern on ABC.
Pistons with one last chance. Stuckey gets inside. Shot, drop, won't go, and Allen the rebound. This comes up short. They need to force turnovers here. Down by 10. Do they need to start fouling now, Jeff?
Yeah, I would have fouled in this possession.
Well, shot clock down to 5. Garnett banks it in, and that would probably do it. Puts them back up by 12 as we come up on a minute remaining. Kevin Garnett, a sensational game with 22 points, 13 rebounds, 6 assists. Allen the rebound. And this Pistons rally is going to fall short as the Boston Celtics will gain their first road win of the playoffs. After going 0 for 6 in the first 2 rounds, they come back and regain the home court advantage here in the Eastern Conference Finals. A very impressive win. They withstand this rally as Ray Allen able to get it to go. They do it with balance on offense and just terrific defense, the type of defense the Celtic fans watched all season long. And a foul on Garnett.
When I think if you're the Pistons, what you're thinking about is what did we do wrong to give away a ball game? If you're the Celtics, you have to have the disease of greed. Don't be satisfied with just one win. Look to get the next one also.
Again, they were due. They were a terrific road team during the regular season. Best record in the NBA on the road, 31-10. Had some impressive road wins. But then it became a huge story when they were taken to 7 games by Atlanta with all 3 losses against the Hawks on the road. Cleveland did the same thing to them. But tonight, a very impressive road performance following Detroit's impressive road performance in Game 2.
But they're going to have to clean up their execution against the 1-2-2 trap. What do they want? What are they looking for? Because you have to, if you're Detroit, you found something that maybe can stagnate them offensively if Boston starts to get on a roll.
Even to the point where you come out and play this defense early. It's been very effective.
Rondo. Ball tipped, still one on the shot clock. Celtics at the inbound with 4.9 remaining. The Doc Rivers team bouncing back in a big way, showing why they had the best record in the NBA in the regular season. A very impressive performance after what was a disappointing loss at home. Ray Allen flips it in, and that's the exclamation point. An impressive victory on the road, their first one of the postseason for the Boston Celtics. Kevin Garnett and his team take a 2-1 series lead as Chauncey Billups and the Pistons drop one at home, their second home loss of the playoffs. They're now 5-2 in the postseason here at the Palace. Garnett was fabulous. 22 points, 13 rebounds, 6 assists. Meanwhile, Paul Pierce, one of 6 Celtics in double figures. He's with Michelle.
All right, well, you just wished someone happy birthday, and you said, I told you so. What was that about?
Just one of the guys that work for us, Darren. It's his birthday today, and he said all he wanted today was a win. So promised it to him, and we got it. I'm happy for him.
Yeah, happy birthday to him, and congratulations to you guys for finally ending that road losing streak here in the playoffs. How were you able to do tonight what you hadn't been able to do so far in the playoffs?
Just the focus. You know, before the game, I said, hey, we're the best road team all year long and during the regular season. You know, this series is 0-0 on the road, so let's go out here and go 1-0 on the road. And the guys really was focused from the jump and into the end.
Now, they did find a way to slow you guys in the fourth quarter, which could concern you as you go ahead into Game 4 with their 1-2-2. What do you do with that, and how do you prepare to counter that for the next game?
Well, we just got to settle down and just keep running our stuff. I think we kind of rushed when they put the 4 smalls out there and tried to trap. We work on that every day in practice, so we just got to settle down, run our offense, and take good shots and not turn the ball over.
What does this do for the team's confidence to finally get a road win?
It gives us great confidence. Playing against Detroit, this is one of the top 2 or 3 teams at home this year. For us to get a win in this environment is a great, great win.
Congratulations, Paul.
Thank you.
Mike?
Well, Michelle, it also ends all the questions about when are you finally going to win on the road. That'll certainly help. Their defense was superb. They'll try it again on Game 4 Monday, right back here at the Palace on ESPN. Tip-off shortly after 8:30. Then Game 5 Wednesday back in Boston. And Game 6 here at the Palace. These games on ESPN. Game 6, of course, if necessary. Strong defense from the Boston Celtics as they defeat the Pistons here at the Palace. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Tomorrow on ABC, 92nd running of the Indianapolis 500, presented by GoDaddy.com. So for Jeff Van Gundy, Mark Jackson, Michelle Tafoya, and our entire ABC crew, this is Mike Breen saying so long from Detroit. You're watching ABC Sports, home of the NBA Finals.